Hey, Don here, the Auction Professor. I've got another Bolo video for you today. I look for posters everywhere I go to begin with, but TV-related show posters usually go for more money than just the cheapo posters. They're collected by many people. They're tie-ins. They didn't make a lot of them. They don't have to be official National Screen Service posters like most traditional movie posters as well, and they're made by smaller companies. They don't show up quite as much, but they do go for some decent money. Let's look at some right now. So here we go with some posters. Now, you may not always recognize what's on the poster. I remember Night Gallery, and there was usually a painting in front of it. It actually does say Night Gallery on the poster also, but many of these early style TV posters for some of these oddball shows like this won't say what it's from. It'll just have an odd, bizarre image on the front. This one luckily does say Night Gallery. Rod Serling from Twilight Zone did the Night Gallery as well. I grew up watching the show on the weekends. Used to be on after school when I got home also, just after the Twilight Zone. $385 for this one. This one does show up. You'll see many of these on eBay, so don't think that all these posters are scarce. They don't have to be official on some of these earlier ones too, or they may not look official to be valuable. Here's a TV production of Dungeons & Dragons by Marvel Comics. It's an animated one. This is the key era, the height of the introduction to Dungeons & Dragons and TSR, $300. And again, this one shows up too. I've seen many of these on eBay. There's probably a dozen or more up right this moment that have sold for decent money. 36 bids on this. Now here we have an MTV poster. This is advertising MTV coming to your cable. It even says in stereo, which I'm quite surprised for the era this was out. $195. Almost any of the MTV posters go for good money. So if you see any from The Challenge, The Real World, any of the earlier ones like that, they're really valuable for the most part. They very rarely show up because not many of any of these MTV posters were made. Cable was new. It was a cable channel basically at the time. They didn't have the broad reach they have these days. So MTV posters, VH1 posters go very well also. I look for these everywhere I go. In fact, I just look at posters in general. I'm not big on sports posters, so to speak, just because there's so many of them, and I don't know the difference on real or fake. But this type of stuff, I've handled hundreds of posters. I worked in a movie theater, and posters showed up constantly, and, you know, rehashes. I could always tell the difference just from working there. Real good example here, honestly. I remember the days when MTV came in and you had to call your cable provider and tell them you wanted your MTV. It was a big advertisement they had actually back then also. Now here's Flux. Now they've made some new ones, Mondo-style posters of the old characters. So some of these are new, some of these are old. You're just going to have to be careful. Flux was very popular. It was an animated series that then went full-fledged into a live-action movie. I believe it's on Netflix or on Prime if you would want to see the movie itself, the original. Pretty interesting movie. In fact, we just saw a preview thing for it the other day. I remember Liquid Television, which is what this was on MTV, and late at night they showed oddball animated series from all over the world. It was one of the first places I saw a show I think was called Balance. It was a movie that was done in Germany. It's on YouTube here, so type in Balance animation and you'll see it. It's a really interesting one, tied into this whole fad of bringing in outsider art and animation to MTV. MTV was a big breaking point for some of this material to be flooded into the market. They were one of the first ones to do it. So people don't give MTV enough credit for bringing animation of some sort, these odder animations, to the mainstream, which is what I feel they did. Because back in the day, you couldn't see much other than maybe G-Force or something like that on after-school special, you know, once a week or something along that line. Some of the other ones that I used to remember as a child were like Ultraman. I watched all the Ultraman too. Pretty much Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is what Ultraman used to be. So it's the same basic principle. Any of that stuff's worth some money. An Ultraman poster can go for a good $1,000 if you get the right one. Almost never show up. They're almost always in Japanese and from Japan. I rarely see a original Godzilla or even an original Ultraman poster over here, honestly. I've seen a couple in my life at shows, but that's about it. This one went for $160. Any of the TV shows had posters to some extent. They're harder to get for the TV shows than the movies, for sure, because the movies would mass produce them for every movie theater in the country, and you could order them from the movie theater from the National Screen Service. I ordered for the movie theater that I worked for in the Toledo, Ohio area. So I'm well versed on posters. I worked at a movie theater for, geez, almost 3 years. It was my second job. I was working 2 places at the same time, part-time at a movie theater, and then Holmes Magazine here doing graphics and stuff for it. This one went for $158. It's just advertising masks from the TV show, from the General Electric television show. General Electric ran a network, so to speak, and they had a bunch of shows, and Batman was one of them. Again, good one here. Really nice one. Nice condition. These were more mass-produced because these would go to, like, grocery stores where there was tons of them and not just, like, one smaller centralized area. So interesting on this one here. Now we've got a new one here. And I know people say, well, these are all vintage. These are all vintage. Stranger Things is new. This one went for $138. Now, these are large size ones, 3 by 5 foot for the most part, these Subway ones. They're smaller ones. They all seem to go. Netflix posters, if I run into them, I always buy them. Sometimes you can get them in mass quantity in closeouts and things like that. Maybe in a shop they might not go for some money, but online there are sources. These will sell better on Amazon. So if you've got an Amazon account, these go under collectibles and entertainment section. At least that's where I list stuff like this. And they go really quickly, too. Because there's not a lot of them listed. Just people don't think about it or are gated in that section. And these are original ones produced by Netflix also. So $138. Now here's HBO Game of Thrones. Final season. The earlier Game of Thrones go for more. So just keep an eye out. They show up. There's a ton of these. They have to be more authentic. This is a large scale one. So this is no way this is a dupe or a reproduction. So size will give it away whether it's real or not. A fake one or a mass-produced junk one's going to be, you know, standard size and nothing oddball or anything like that because they use the standard machines, cheap as possible, mass-produce them, and then release them. $144 on this one, and this is the last season. Here's one for Space Command. It's from the helmet from the TV show. Again, this would have been in a grocery store, appliance store, anything along that line, department store. So there's many of these. It's not very graphic, but something you can find that people may pass up because of that part of it. $135, 7 bids. Now here's a Saturday Night Live one from the Avon. This is an early one, not the same Avon you would think for products. This is more a TV promotional thing. Early Saturday Night Live when they first came out. Most of the Saturday Night Live posters from even the 70s into the 80s sell very well. Eddie Murphy posters from when Eddie Murphy was on are the bomb. Homie the Clown posters. I got one the other day and it sold like the same day I listed it. Any of those things, and living color posters sell extremely well. Homie the Clown is the number one you want from that TV series. But most of the TV series, Three's Company, Space 1999, Buck Rogers, any of those TV show posters go very well. They have to be the original from the time frame it was in that era. You don't want reproductions on some of those because they just won't sell very high. Because there's so many of them, somebody can just go to the store and buy their own. So $125 on this one. Now here's another one where there's some tie-ins to this. This is an Austin City Limits, which was a TV show, still is if I'm not mistaken, that mostly had country performers on it. If I remember right, I watched the Talking Heads on there maybe once before, and I've seen the show maybe once or twice when there was a stray musician that I liked. I don't know who this is, Gary Clark, but it's the TV show in general on this one, so any of the Austin City Limit posters sell fairly well, and I never worry about stuff like this. It's not something you're going to run into every day, but you may get lucky and get a stack of them from a music store or from a secondary market store or a printer even for one aspect. I find printer posters in big lots sometimes at auctions, and another good source are record shops and stuff like that for these style of posters because they do promote them sometimes at record stores. I've shown some hauls. Many times I'll get like maybe 500 or 600 posters all at once. Many dupes, a lot of, 10 of the same one and stuff from record sales and stuff at record shops, and most people pass it by. It's usually looked at big junk lots, and I can pretty much list those on Amazon. One listing, 50 posters, 10 posters, whatever, and just be done with it. Forget about it. Don't pay a dime, and they do sell and staggered out through. I just sold one last night from another group, so anyway, another good one here, $102. Power Rangers TV series, still in plastic, $100. They may have walked up on a box of these or something. You never know. I do sometimes see that where you can run up on a whole lot of these all at once. leftovers, maybe a video shop had some or something along that line. Do show up at auctions, though. I do look for posters, as I said, and it's a good area to look for. I don't usually buy them damaged, but in some cases there are some that do sell damaged, and I've talked about a few in my Patreon group also. SpiderMan TV series, 1977. This is probably the rehash of the cartoon or the second series. $100 on this one. I watched the cartoon animated Spider-Man and the whole works. I liked it. Had a catchy tune. I remember Spider-Man as well on the Electric Company, for those who go back to my era. A standard movie poster from a movie theater poster is 27 by 41. This one is a little different in size. I always carry a little measure with me in my pocket usually. It's just the fabric kind that extend, or the little tiny ones. And I know it may seem ridiculous to carry those, but sometimes the size of the poster will dictate whether it's real or not. Just because many times they didn't make the same size poster. This is a real one, but it's from TV basically, or a tie-in for the TV. It may not be an official advertising one, but it's still advertising as a mass-produced poster. So $100 on this one. Now here's Mystery from PBS, 10th anniversary. You could order these. Some of these were given away from some of the telethons that they had. So another good example of something that you may not run into very often, but they do show up and they are worth it. Anything PBS I usually buy. There are some Sesame Street advertising posters that go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Insane prices. Again, we're just centering it on TV, but there's just so many areas to look for in posters. Lost in Space posters, early Star Trek posters, even the Star Trek cartoon series posters are the bomb. If you can find an animated Star Trek series poster, you've got some money. It's well worth more than any of the other printed versions, other than, say, maybe a 67 printed Leaf poster. Other than that, I haven't seen many that go for more than that specific one. $100 on this one, as I said. Now here's one from the TV series Lost. Now I have went through my entire life with never seeing an episode of Lost. I have no idea what the show's about. Don't feel I'm missing very much, in my opinion. I guess it just wasn't my taste at the time we were doing stuff. I was, just met my wife and we were having fun and stuff. And I don't remember anything about the show. I don't remember promos, nothing. I know the show was there and I've seen little snippets and stuff, but I never knew what the show was about. But either way, the posters still go. There is still a following on this. There's several different versions, makes. It was on for many seasons. There's toys from the line, too, if you didn't know that. But $100 on this one here. Now, when I was younger, Dallas was big, and Who Shot JR was the fad. Everybody wanted to know who shot JR. I remember JR from back in the day when he was on I Dream of Jeannie, and I watched those as well. Dallas, this is Pamela Ewing. Any of these 80s TV shows go very well. Larger the better. There's door-sized posters also for most of these. Again, any of these stuff go fairly well these days. They're fairly scarce. Most people pinned them up, taped them up, threw them out, discarded them. So posters of TV shows go way back also. Into the 50s are probably the earliest ones you will find. 80s sell great, 90s sell great, 2000s sell great. It just depends on the TV series and how many fans they had. Now here's the rehash of the Outer Limits from Showtime. 27 by 41, official one, folded, $89.99. Some of these could be sent away. Some of them were advertised in many places. They're still scarce. Any of these TV ones are scarce. Now here's an earlier one, probably from the 60s. This is The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I've watched most of the episodes of it. $87 roughly on this one. Again, any of these earlier ones, even some of the newer reproductions on some of these type of series go very well. This has a cult following. There was a spin-off from this, The Woman from U.N.C.L.E., if I remember right, too. Kind of like the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman TV series line. So $87 on this one. Another line that goes very well are blacklight posters in general. This one's from Star Trek, so it's even better. Now, this is, if I'm not mistaken, the animated series version of this. Almost $600 on this poster here. You can't go wrong on any of these blacklight posters. Most dateable, original blacklight posters go for some good money. Some of the best ones that I get are Marvel related. Even in bad condition they will sell. 60s Marvel blacklight posters from the Hulk or Spider-Man animated series lines go incredibly well. So another area to look for. I may cover just blacklight posters and psychedelic posters in another video. I buy them whenever I can find them. I do have a few sources that do turn them up and do call me when they find them. So I really like early posters. I remember the blacklight days when I was younger, and everybody I knew, including myself, had blacklight posters on their wall. So really good one here. And the last one is a door size, life-size poster of Leonard Nimoy, 150 bucks. Most characters had them. I've shown some life-size posters also. Usually pinup ones were the best. These were made to hang on a door, so they were literally life-size to match the size of your door. It would cover up a door for you at your house. Nice example of one here. I would have been very happy to get this one. They always sell. Many times people pass these up because they're not sure how to photograph them. I've shown it before and talked about it. We use little clips from the ceiling. They're binder clips, hung down with a string, and then 2 more binder clips on the bottom which weight it down. So there's no hands. You can do it on a plain black background or a white background with just a sheet behind it. It's real easy to photograph posters once you get that gist on it. You're going to just hang 2 little clips from your ceiling. Everything else is from string. Just get some cup hooks is what you could do also. Put them in the ceiling very well and then get yourself some of the binder clips. Well, there you go. That's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.